You're here at One Parent to Another, and I have the brilliant Craig Shoemaker, not Schumacher.
Thank you very much.
I'm
I
not
appreciate
mocking shoes.
Yeah.
I like shoes.
Except Crocs.
Except Crocs. We can mock
So
those.
we can mock those.
But
and this is Michelle Stafford.
Thank you. I am Michelle Stafford. You're in my living room right now.
Yeah, this is awesome. What a great place to have a show.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I just have to loosen up because I was just told by our producer that I'm puffy. I just drove 6 hours. Everybody's puffy if they drive 6 hours. So I'm really conscious. I'm sucking in right now. I'm just hoping I can make it the entire show with the suck in happening.
It's okay for a man to be puffy, though. It's not okay for a woman to be puffy.
Especially when you're married. Once I'm married, it's like, okay, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. This is me in a bar when I'm single. Hello. Married. Yeah.
Right. I just want everyone to know that I just found this. We've moved my living room around to fit better with the show, right? And I just found this on the ground. You can find anything. I've been looking for a nail file.
I thought it was a pregnancy test.
Yeah.
I thought we were getting an announcement. Look, folks, you heard it here first.
Right.
One parent to another. It happened again.
I live in squalor. Everything's always messy.
I love this place.
But I'm not. I'm embarrassed, but I'm not.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Tell everyone you were in your house, which is really cool.
There are crumbs in the chair.
You don't know how much, we've known each other a long time, but not really known each other.
Yes.
I didn't know any of this about you.
That I had a house?
Yeah, we actually had a date once. Do you know that?
Yes!
We had a date.
It was a good date.
I don't know what the hell happened.
I brought
but
my A game.
I could have been in the squalor if I would have played my cards right. Because this is very familiar to me.
Oh my God.
I've come from a very non-neat house. It's awesome. And a basement. You have a basement.
I do.
That's a back east thing.
Yeah, it's a make east thing.
But I got to tell you.
That's the first thing I did when I moved into this house. I made that basement film room.
You make it into something.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. When your kids are older, that's going to be where they party.
I know.
That's the party basement. I'm just warning you right now.
I know,
That's where stuff gets hidden. So just know that every nook and cranny, they're already, even though they're 8 years old, she's still eyeing it up for someday when she's going to steal your booze and tuck it in there. I'm just warning you because I was that kid.
My booze.
Yeah, your booze. Sorry. Yeah, that's how I first drank when I was a kid. We used to steal the booze, and we'd take a little bit of each and put it into a jar. We called it weasel piss. That was my first drinking, was weasel piss. I'm so classy. See what you missed?
No, it's great.
Did we ever go on a second date?
I don't know.
I don't
think so.
It's so foggy. It was in the
I think
80s.
so.
No, 90s.
No, it was not.
Oh, look at her. No, I'm not that old. Did you see that face? Capture that one. We should do a still on that one. 80s?
Oh my God.
I don't know. I said 80s. I thought, no, it was late 90s. It was late 90s. We went on a date, and I don't remember much. I remember where you lived.
Park La Brea.
Yeah, I somehow got in there. I got into the house, not anywhere else. Nothing figurative, literal.
Into my apartment. I loved that apartment. That was so
great. It was
great.
a great
Those were
apartment,
great
and I remember having a great discussion. I don't know what happened. Did I wuss out or something?
I can't remember what happened.
But we've had a long life since then.
Yeah, we've always been friends. I came when I first met you.
Yeah.
I came to your show, and you were doing your whole Love Master act.
That's right, my Love Master
and that's
act.
where I met you through our mutual friend Jennifer.
That's right. I have a confession to make. The reason I do the Love Master is women like you. Now I'm going to tell you why. This is where the whole Love Master. I've never talked about this before.
Oh, good.
You're getting it out of me. That's what a good interviewer you are.
Yeah.
So, the Love Master, for those who don't know, it's this Lothario character that channels through me.
Lothario.
Yeah. Yeah. You like that term?
Yeah, I don't even know what it means. But it sounds so sexy.
Whoever wrote that word did a good job. Look what it did to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that on stage from now on. Maybe I'll use it with my wife. Maybe she'll get going. You know, I'll go, Lothario.
That's all you need.
Yeah. Let me see. She's in the other room.
Sexy.
Honey, Lothario.
Yeah.
Once you have 4 kids, it's going to take a lot of words more than Lothario. Believe me, it's a whole other thing once the kids came. You should see, we sleep together. It's like she used to tell me before when she was trying to make the sale and get the commission. It was a whole other story.
Yeah, hey, wait. Do your kids sleep with you?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah,
so I'm in the other room most of the time.
That's the thing. Like, so many people are against that. But I put a post the other day about my kids.
Yeah.
You know, they find their way into my bedroom, right? And I put a post, and so many people said, my kids too, my kids live with me too. Yeah. But like so many people are against it.
Well, I know why.
Yes.
I mean, there certainly are reasons why, but I guess, well, if you're, I was single for a little while, and when you're single, though, it's like full on, like.
Yeah, they're all with you.
But when you're married, though, when you have, it's a couple.
Yeah, and you're thinking, I want these kids out because I want to get amorous with my wife.
No, it's more about room.
Oh, okay.
I want my room.
But is it more difficult?
I'm a spread out guy.
Yeah. No, I hate it because I'm like this on the edge. I hate it, and my son is kicking me.
Yeah,
the whole
you're
night.
on. I don't want to be on the edge. I live my life on the edge already. That's the time I don't want
edge. Exactly. Like jumping out of a plane. People are like, oh, it's great. It's like. I feel like every day I'm jumping out of a plane. Like I don't have to legit jump out of a plane.
Yeah.
Having been a legit single parent to two lunatics.
Right. Yeah. Basically,
lunatics.
They're a reflection of us.
Beautiful, amazing lunatics.
Right. Yeah. By the way, your daughter, though.
Thank you.
What an energy. She's got a beautiful
amazing.
Energy about her.
Thank you.
So now, by the way, once you have daughters, though, my whole Lothario thing changes. So the Love Master, here's how it happened. It happened because I say women like you.
Wait, okay, you have two sons.
I have two,
Tell me,
no, I have 3 sons.
You have 3 sons.
And a little daughter.
And
I have a daughter who's, look at my age. I have a daughter, she's a year out of diapers. I'm about a year from being in my own. I'm trying to get shapes. Nobody
this is
says.
How it is now.
My fear is someone's going to go, that's your granddaughter. No one said it yet. But I'm so frightened that they will. So I'm trying to get in shape
it's you and
to
so
deal
many
with the
others.
puff. I went for my first run in years. About 2 blocks in, someone pulls their car and yells out, "Are you okay?" I got in. I went for a ride.
That's how it is now. I'm an old mom too.
I know. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
But I think I'm young, so therefore I am.
Oh, I'm with you on that one. I'm trying to get my Wikipedia age changed. They had me as dead.
How can we?
They did in 2008. They said deceased. I said, I'm not that old. They had me as dead.
I was married
you
to
can't
Vin
change
Diesel.
it. What's it? You're married to Vin Diesel?
No, they said I was married to Vin Diesel.
Me too.
And
a lot of coincidences here.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like his bald head though. I said, come on, grow some hair.
I mean,
so I want to tell you how the Love Master happened. This is where it's related to you, to people like you.
All right.
See, I have a thing with females because I grew up with all females, right? So my first shave was something called an epilady. My first. Do you remember the epilady?
I sold the epilady.
No, you did not.
I can't believe that you're saying this.
No one ever knows what that thing is.
I was the demonstrator
in
the department store for the epilady, and I had to show people on my own arm. And I'd be like, "Look," and it doesn't even hurt. And I'd be like,
It tears the hair out by the root.
Horrible.
Who invented this machine? The Marquis de Sade? It was like, are you kidding me?
It's horrible.
My mom got one, and it was the only razor, and I'm a little kid. I'm like, ah! This is, I didn't want it. My first shave was at 13. Next one was like 30. It's a clean shave.
Oh my God.
It's a clean shave, the epilady.
You were using it here.
I grew up with all female products.
my
Nair,
God.
remember Nair?
Nair and Nads.
I love the Nads. The Nads.
It was like that wax, but it wasn't wax. It was like gum. And it half did it, and she'd be like, "You can do it," and she had an accent, which makes it always better, right?
Yeah, nods.
She had a nice nods. And you're like, "Oh, she's a nice lady." I'm sure
they'll sell you anything, these people.
She's Australian.
Nods.
She's Australian. It's better.
Oh, okay.
It's better. It's like, oh yeah, they're cool. They're fun down there. They should know. They're always in their bikinis. Nods. Oh, all right.
So the feminine products. The feminine products.
The feminine products.
I grew up with all of them because I had a single mom. Now this is how the Love Master happened. My mom has a big effect on me because I feel like she judges me all the time. So I always felt girls were judging me. So when I was a kid, we do. Don't even emphasize it more. This is why we didn't have a second date.
That's why.
I got it now. It's all coming clear now. Because I have certain women, there's one category and then there's the judgers, and I would always go for them. That's who I would always go for. Maybe
makes it easy.
But so girls would all judge me in high school, and I was very squirmy and squirty. I was 5'1" in high school, and a little high voice.
Wow.
Yeah, I know I'm like 6'2".
You're so tall.
I know, but it took junior year. I was 5'1", 92 pounds, and a budding comedian. I was like a wedgie waiting to happen.
Oh, you have to be funny. You have to be.
That's how I funnied my way out. And all the girls would use this. Is how the Love Master. They all use the F word with me, friend. I was always the friend, and I hated that word. I go, you know, and I was so nervous. I go, hey, I think you might want to go to the prom with me. You're my friend. And they would laugh. I'm going, that wasn't a punchline.
Oh, and then you just go, yeah, yeah.
No, I didn't want to go with you anyway. You know, and I would do that. And then they would, actually, you know how you all pee together, the posse pee, especially in high school? Yeah. They took me with them. That's what a geek I was. I'd be on the tub. You know, and they're all like talking about all the guys, and all the guys were like piggy guys that they were after, and that's when Love Master.
So you created the guy.
Oh, give the geek a chance, baby. Oh, I love you so good. Your neighbor will have a smoke, baby. Oh, yeah.
I love that. Did that ever work on anyone?
Please, did you get that delivery? That was, you said you're not a comic. That was absolutely brilliant, brilliant. It had a lot of effect. It got laughs, and it hurt me deep. You did everything in one thing, one line. Yeah.
I actually meant it.
I know you did, and that's the thing. This is what I'm trying to tell you. This is why girls had an effect on me, because they would have that reaction. And by the way, they always say women want a sense of humor. Wow, is that a lie?
It's a lie the other way around, too. It's a lie, like men like a funny woman. They like a funny, no they don't.
That's never been in a survey ever.
Like, listen, this is what I want to ask you. So you wrote a book.
Yes.
And this is, the Love Master, in turn, helped you help single moms.
Yeah, so this was called Love Mastered with an apostrophe D, because I've actually mastered love. Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
that all these
you know
years
what?
later.
And I've known you for a long time, and you actually have. Which is, it's really beautiful.
It's an amazing thing. I never thought I could have it.
But can I just ask you something, and I just cut you off, but I need to ask you this. Do you feel, because of everything that you've gone through, and you're really open about what you've gone through, about your troubles with the ex and the fighting and the kids and custody, and that can get, as we all know, very heated, and you don't want to affect your kids, but sometimes it
obviously bleeds
obviously
over.
Does,
yeah,
right?
Especially when
they could feel it. They know. I mean, I could feel it with my parents. They didn't have to say
Not only
anything.
that, I mean, there's some literal things where you go, I can't pick you up at school because I'm at court.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And it's not for a traffic ticket. It's because your mom has accused me of something else. And, it was.
And I'll tell you, being a mom, I got my own sperm, so I'm not dealing with that.
Right.
You know, but I have friends, really close friends, who do, and it's tormenting. So Love Master, bringing it back to, I just wanted to sort of give the lay of the land there. Bring it back. All of that. Do you feel like all of that helped you get to where you are?
Yeah. It did. Well, I've always believed that all the pain that I come from has led to the wisdom of today.
For sure.
And it's led to. I live the best life I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah.
And I'm living a dream because I made it all manifest from centering in the suffering and the pain. I dealt with it in more of a mindful way instead of more of a revenge way or being right.
Right.
Oh, if I knew this before, it would save me a lot of money.
But there's no way to know it.
No, there's no way. Well, that's what I hope the book does.
Yeah.
So the book, someone reached out to me, actually a fan of my comedy, and I knew I'm also an energy guy. I pick up energies on people. I think it makes me a better comic. It's this intuitive sense that's been built through repetition.
It makes you a better actor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So well, you know what it's like. And so when you feel these, like I felt it with your daughter today.
Yeah.
I said, wow, what an essence that she has. So this woman, I could feel her essence on Facebook. I could tell that she was more than like a fan. And she goes, I thought you'd want to know, Matt and I are divorcing after 30 years of marriage. And literally this whole overwhelming source came out of me and said, share your pain and your story with her. Just give her what you have gone through, your experience, and then see what she gets out of it. This is all just came up to me, and I wrote back to her. Yeah. And she's there, wow, I wasn't expecting, she thought I'd go, make a joke. Some people, she just wasn't expecting like wisdom to come from a stand-up comic because she was expecting the cynicism, the jokes, where stand-ups go, because we're all trying to, deflect our feelings. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna give you this, and this is the gift I'll give you. And then the book is our exchange over a year and a half, her going through a very painful divorce. And I ended up being, the only person she would share with. Yeah. There was no therapist, and because her family members didn't want her to get divorced, so And I could relate to so much. I could not wait to get back to my hotel to see what she wrote to me.
Wow.
And she, it turns out, I kind of became a muse for her. She's a brilliant
sure.
writer. She's brilliant. So all this was in there, and she had put it all down because she had the alcoholic husband, and he was, you know, and she's the worker, and he was the lousy guy, and all this came out. She wouldn't tell anyone. And now, but she has 2 kids now, and she doesn't want them. So there's that whole aspect that we just talked about. She doesn't want them to know her feelings about him.
Sure.
She hid that he beat her. All these things came out in the story to me.
Right.
And then I would come back and talk about things that were going on with me. And, you know, my wife, I'm now married. You know, I was single for a little bit, and I'm now married, and she was pregnant, lost the baby. And I was really angry because I thought it was because my ex-wife was, like, you know, verbally abusive, and I was, like, really angry. So there's all these stages that go through, you know, the rage that's coming out, but then the calm and what you have to do in that process to get to that calm. So the book is, it's the one thing that's wild. I shouldn't spoil the end of it. You can buy it, by the way. Get it from me. Don't go to Amazon.
His website.
Yeah, go to my website,
Yeah,
GregShoemaker.com.
I know.
Yeah, forget the Amazon.
Forget
They keep all the
Amazon.
money.
They're okay. They're doing okay.
Mine, I can sign it, or my assistant will. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, in the book, it's just all these revelations happen for both of us because I was still going through my divorce. She was just beginning hers, and she got divorced, and a year later, it goes on for a year, it's time-stamped, it's our conversation over a year. And something instinctually came up for me, and my accountant, who I've known since kindergarten, we used to share a cot and milk together. Back in Philadelphia, this is 3,000 miles away. She's in Jersey, he's in Philly. He was also in a very abusive relationship, and I fixed them up, and they'd never been in love like this before.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
What a beautiful story.
their wedding is happening in a few months.
Wow.
And to watch them together, to see them have this connection, this divine connection, is
Amazing.
truly like significant in my life. It's
Yeah.
very powerful for me. And I've fixed up 9 marriages now.
I know you told me.
Yeah, I'm really good at that.
really
Yeah.
Listen, I have something profound to say.
You do?
Yeah, I have something profound to say.
We'll judge that.
Hey, you can judge me now. It's great.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't?
You could care less about my judgment.
I don't, but that's just
Exactly.
me. But that's just me. Other people might.
Each thing that happens, I figure out another way why we never had a second date.
Yeah, I know. Now we know. Now we won't, but I won't say the F word.
Okay.
Listen, Craig,
Yeah.
I'm listening to you speak about all the stuff that happened after when you were single, after your divorce,
Yeah.
and it's interesting. I think that's something because I have lots of single friends. I have lots of single friends, and I noticed that it's when you're the most jacked, when you're the most upset, is when you literally have not taken ownership of what has happened.
Yeah.
You know, meaning responsibility is another word for it, but like just ownership of like, whoa, this is going, and I notice that about myself too. You know, that, and it's a really easy thing to do when you're going through a breakup or a divorce because you have all the legit reasons why someone's horrible.
And then you get co-signers.
And you get co-signers like, yeah, I think that he was horrible too.
You find those people.
Especially us chicks, us gals. I mean, we love to jump on that train of like, I have this thing. I have this thing with my girlfriends. I don't care if they're wrong. I don't care if they're the bad one. I support them.
You do?
Yeah.
You
And
think
even
that's
if
a
I'm
smart
like,
idea?
Yep.
You do? That's the co-signers. No. Listen, women, I grew up with all females, and I'm a guy. I will give you all the inside tips. One tip is do it that way.
Listen,
you gotta
this is
call
why.
people on their stuff.
No, because I
It's
know
accountability partners.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I know that when they're jacked, they're just jacked. Okay, and this is a very important thing. You can't be throwing in. Oh, you have to own. They're
I
jacked.
see.
They're not ready.
Well, you're allowing them to process their feelings.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
believe me,
come
I'm familiar
around,
with it.
Yeah, they come around. They go, well, maybe, and I'm like, okay, cool. Well, if that's how you feel, great. You know, inside, I'm like, yeah. I think also for a single mom. Gosh, it's such a weird thing because I've only been a single mom. I'm a double single mom. I've only been single, right? Because, like I said, I had my kids on my own, right?
Right.
I just love to say sperm. So that's why I like to say I got my own sperm, because who says sperm in conversations anymore? We need to bring.
I was asked to do that, by the way, to be the sperm.
You were?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I noticed, by the way.
Not by you, but
not by me. I noticed, by the way, men are totally willing to give you their sperm.
I know.
Just so you know.
I know.
Yeah,
And even in that way.
in that way, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But as myself as a single mom, you know, there's always that. You're always thinking of your kids. Like as a single dad, you're always thinking of your kids, right? And everything. And we should anyway.
Including who you date.
Oh, definitely.
And when you introduce them and how well they get to know them. That's a lot of difficult stuff.
I was dating someone recently, and he was a little harsh with Natalia, right? And he was doing it because he was trying to protect me, because he was trying to be like the person who was the disciplinarian.
How long was it till he stepped in to be the stepdad?
Well, he never did, but just that moment he did.
Just that moment.
Yeah,
okay.
just that moment.
How
but
many?
like 8 months. 8 months.
So 8 months.
Yeah.
He's going. I'm actually going to say something to her that is stepdaddy-ish.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
to like be that voice, and it was really kind of harsh on Natalia. And so he got out of the car and she said, "Oh my gosh," he said it to me, and I was gonna cry, but I stopped myself, and I know, and I was so like tormented, way more than anything that you could ever do to me, and you know, in my head I was like, oh, I got to stop dating him, you know,
Right.
You know, I go right to 10.
Well, our empathic response.
You do. You go right to 10 when you have
children
kids.
is just the empathy is
like
on,
you would.
on
Right.
infinite alert. I mean, it's just So it's you know, and then we think about. I don't know what your childhood was like. I was brought up by a single mom.
Yeah.
And that was a big one for me. Is I wanted her. I thought her happiness would be through a man.
Right.
So I'd always try to fix her up with guys.
Yeah.
I wrote letters to Paul Lynde.
That's
The Center
lovely.
Square. You know.
I
thought
think that's so lovely.
Yeah.
though.
Well, he wasn't going to marry my mom. You know.
No,
Paul Lynde. Hello. My whole goal was to be the first father and
Paul
son
Lynde.
team on the Hollywood Squares. I was always imagining, because I thought he'd be my stepdad. I was picturing them going, I'd like Craig and Paul Lynde for the win, please, and we'd be in the
I
box.
love you.
Take it, son. It's a sports question. This is literally what I thought when I was a kid. I was so desperate, not only for myself to have a dad, but I wanted her to have a husband.
Yeah.
So here's this crazy story. I mean, this is the lengths that I would go to. I found this baseball card, Tim McCarvey played for the Phillies. I said, Mom, he's a catcher and I'm a pitcher. He could be my stepdad and teach me how to pitch. He can marry you. He's really handsome and he's Irish. You love Irish. And I'm like talking her into dating this guy. She goes, he doesn't want me. I go, he does. And I wrote him a letter. And I said, you should meet my mom. And here's her picture in her belly dancing outfit. That's a whole other story. And he never wrote me back. But Michelle, the best things in life take time.
Yes.
Guess what happened? I told Joe Buck the story. That's Tim's longtime friend. Next time I saw Joe Buck, he hands me a ball and it's signed by Tim McCarver and it says, "Dear son, time to grow up. Love, Dad."
Oh my God, that's so beautiful. I want to cry. Wait, how long were you being a single dad?
I wasn't a single dad long.
Okay.
I was not, but I have to tell you the transition to them meeting her, like I hid them. And I am, as you know, we're both this way. We're so open and authentic, right? Yeah. But it gets in the way with like the rules on that because you don't want to subject them to falling in love with someone who you don't know if you are and you don't know if it's going to last.
Listen, are you...
So what's the day that you tell them?
No,
you know?
I went the opposite. I mean, I'm so open, but about that, super not open, right? So, I mean, I kept them away for a while. I don't just like bring random guys in at all. Like my daughter, my daughter thinks I'm the biggest loser. She does. She thinks I'm the biggest. Like she goes to school and she's trying to set me up with her teacher.
Oh, there you go.
No, she thinks I'm the biggest loser because no one's asked me to marry them.
See, I've been in all perspectives. I've been her too because I would think this. I set
you
my
would
mom up
think
with
the
a gym
same thing.
teacher. The gym teacher, and I'll never forget it. He drove us in his wagon to a Phillies game. I said, I bribed him. I go, I got tickets to a game. And it's me and all the guys from our class. We're all in the back. We're going, Mr. McCreary's with your mom. I'm going, I can't believe Mr. McCreary could be my father. He lied. He was married. He was trying to get my mom. He was trying to hit on my mom. He's a married guy. And she liked him too. Irish. He had all the stuff. Athlete.
Oh my gosh.
But it's the perspective. It helped inform my decisions.
Yes. Yes.
Because I knew, it's like yesterday that I was this kid. I still have the emotions. I still have the feelings.
Always.
Of when I was a child and first abandoned. And so actually it's how I parent. This is the key to parenting for me. Give them everything that I longed for.
Yeah.
And if it's that simple, if that's the mantra. So if I long to be listened to, I listen to them. If I longed to have a hug, I hug them. If I long to have a parent that's there to support me, and when I'm doing sports or something I'm passionate about, I'm there for sports and coach them and do everything. So if I pause and just say, what did I long for? Give them that. Yeah. And it makes the parenting that much easier. So that makes that decision easier too on when to introduce them. You know, then I can feel them and hear them and listen to them. And at first, by the way, my wife now, my 2 children, no. They were, no. Oh, it was a resistance.
So
because they had a fantasy just like I had. When my dad would visit every few years, he would visit like, you know, every now and then when he had a new scheme.
Yeah.
By the way, the best scheme ever, he told my mother she wanted her child support check. She had to invite her big-breasted friends over because he was selling bras. And like Amway meets bras, a multi-level marketing. And I hadn't seen him in years. He's smoking a pipe in the living room with my Aunt Dottie, Aunt Fran, and Aunt Barbara. You know, the aunts, all the single moms, they're all called aunts. And there he is smoking a pipe, and they all bras on. He goes, turn around, show how it lifts and separates. This is our 3-class model for the full-figured woman. And I'm just going, my God, it's my dad. He's a genius. So, but the thing is, I now know instinctually how to handle things because I just become empathic on what a child's needs are.
Yeah.
So when my son, he still was in denial of the divorce.
Yeah,
he
he
thought
wanted
mommy
his
and
parents
dad.
together.
My parents, whenever he would come around, I go, oh my God, my dad's here. It must mean they're getting back together because it doesn't make any sense why they're not together.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense as a kid. So I had to really be gradual about that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, smart.
yeah.
Smart. It's because they're not going to tell you. They're just going to
No.
think it. They're not, things like that, they're not going to tell you.
They're children. They're not in touch with
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
you know, with the, you know, things that we're in touch with.
Sure.
Occasionally we are. We're still on a
And then
learning process
they'll throw
too.
out, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they'll throw out this thing and you're like shattered. You're shattered. Like, oh, this has
know.
been going on 2 years. And this was Thank you for hanging out in my living room
This was
in squalor.
awesome.
You can't see the rug, thank God.
I
Thank
love how
goodness.
open you are, that you're basically telling the camera, can you pan down to my dirty rug so they know what squalor is? Listen, I know squalor. I grew up a single mom with no child support. I thought my dad's name was doesn't pay the child support. I thought that was his literal name. I thought I had a perspective. I thought the word evict meant move. I thought they were the same word. I go, look, Mommy, the eviction truck is here. And I still keep a box pack to this day. Even though I've made it in life and I've done really well,
yeah,
I
you
still keep
never
a
know.
box pack because I think
Yep.
they're coming for me. But this was great hanging out with you here.
It's really great. Thank you for
I
coming.
can think of a lot worse things than hanging out
I can think of a way worse things.
with
than
you. This is
hanging-
fun. Let's do it again.
Thank you. Okay, cool.
There you go.
Thank you. And to all those single moms and single parents
That's
out
right.
there.
Include the dads, please. Thank you.
I know, yeah, because we don't think of the dads, single parents out there.
Yeah,
We support you.
Yeah.
Do you want to support them?
we support them. Well, I'm not going to pay you money, but.